Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see about machine learning. Learning is the process of gaining new knowledge. Machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence that involves the development of algorithms and statistical models that enable computers to improve their performance in tasks through experience. Definition of machine learning. A computer program is said to learn from the experience E with respect to some class of task and performance measure P if its performance at task T as measured by the performance improves with the experience E. The goal of machine learning is to build computer systems that can adapt and learn from experience. Typically, the machine learning works in following three phases: training, validation, and application. The training is one in which the model will be given the training data set, and based upon the training data set, it gains the information and it builds the relation between the input and the output in supervised learning, whereas it analyzes the hidden pattern in the unsupervised learning, and it assesses the environment and take actions in reinforcement learning. From the new knowledge gained, it will be validated by using the test data and it will update its parameters. Once the model performance is improved in both training as well as testing data, it can be implemented in a real-time application where it will be given a new situation. It has to analyze and take and do responses. The applications of machine learning are automated language translation, medical diagnosis, stock market trading, online fraud detection, virtual personal assistant, email spam and malware filtering, self-driving cars, product recommendations, traffic prediction, speech recognition, and image recognition. The types of machine learning are supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Supervised learning is a type of machine learning in which the machines are trained using well-labeled training data, and on the basis of that, the machines predict the output. The labeled data means some input data is already tagged with the correct output. In supervised learning, the training data provided to the machines work as the supervisor that teaches the machines to predict the output correctly. The aim of supervised learning is to find a mapping function to map the input variable with the output variable. In real world, supervised learning can be used for risk assessment, image classification, fraud detection, spam filtering, etc. In supervised learning, the models are trained using the labeled data set where the model learns about each type of data. Once the training process is completed, the model is tested on the basis of test data and then it predicts the output. This is the flow for the machine learning. The working of supervised learning can be easily understood by the below example, where the input are the labeled data. We are giving three types of inputs: hexagon, square, and a triangle. Each are labeled with each diagram or each picture is labeled with their name. It will be given to model for training, and in testing it is used to predict whether it is a square or a triangle or a hexagon, and then it can be used in real-time applications. The steps involved in supervised learning is first to determine the type of training set, collect or gather labeled training data, split the training data set into training, testing, and validation, determine the input features of training data set which should have enough knowledge so that the model can accurately predict, determine the suitable algorithm for the model, execute the algorithm and training set, evaluate the accuracy of the model by providing test set. If the model predicts the correct output, which means the model is accurate. Unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a type of machine learning in which the models are trained using unlabeled dataset and are allowed to act on the data without any supervision. Unsupervised learning is helpful for finding useful insights from the data. Unsupervised learning is much similar as a human learns to think by their own experiences, which makes it closer to real AI. This is the example of unsupervised learning algorithm where the input will be given without any labels. It has to interpret, it has to identify the hidden pattern in the input data, and it has to process and it produces output whether it is dog or cat based upon the information and training. The difference between supervised and unsupervised learning is that supervised learning algorithms are trained using labeled data, whereas unsupervised are trained with unlabeled data. Supervised learning model takes direct feedback to check if it's predicting correct output or not. Unsupervised learning model does not take any feedback. Supervised learning model predicts the output. Unsupervised learning model finds the hidden pattern in the data. In supervised learning, the input data is provided to the model along with output, whereas in unsupervised learning, only input data is provided to the model. Semi-supervised learning. It is a type of machine learning algorithm that represents intermediate ground between supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms. It uses the combination of labeled and unlabeled datasets during the training period. The basic disadvantage of supervised learning is that it requires hand labeling by ML specialist or data scientist, and it also requires high cost to process. For unsupervised learning, it has a limited spectrum for applications. To overcome the drawback of supervised learning and unsupervised learning, the concept of semi-supervised learning is proposed. It is becoming more popular in industries now. Some familiar applications are speech analysis, web content classification, protein sequence classification, and text document classification. Reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is one where the user will get immediate feedback in supervised learning and no feedback in unsupervised learning. But in reinforcement learning, the user will get the delayed scalar feedback. The reinforcement learning is a type of machine learning method where an intelligent agent interacts with the environment and learns to act within that. For each good action, the agent gets positive feedback, and for each bad action, the agent gets negative feedback or penalty. There are four main elements of reinforcement learning which are given below: policy, reward, value, and model of the environment. Thank you.